All, we will initiate discussion starting with a general question open to all, then go specific to each of the panelists. Can AI opportunities solve air pollution crisis or fix wrong designs, bad airflow, or poor maintenance? And secondly, what did budget mention about artificial intelligence? So maybe start with Mr. Ashutosh.
Yes, certainly. This is an important question. AI definitely does shape how we behave in terms of designing a solution. Even does that building or a property requires a solution or not? That insight is given to us by the AI, which is collected through from a sensor that we install inside a property. It behaves in a certain way, presents us data. Our experience with the buildings in the field, doing the performance testing of HVAC setups ensures that we are able to analyze the data, we are able to understand the design, the system built inside the AI collected and analyzed data, ensuring that we make sure whatever steps we take are optimized, are not a financial burden on the property managers, as well as management burden for the infrastructure caretakers, is because we don't want to increase their jobs. So in one of the case, we ensured that, because VOC is the highest, PM 2.5 and PM1 remains constant, which is well below global criteria. So do we really need to give them a HEPA? And that insight came to us from the data that we analyzed through AI. So that ensures nobody spends more money than they have to, including recurring and non-recurring both. And our system does what it's supposed to do, which is to eliminate the VOCs primarily, which is 99% of the concern. So that is a clear case of how AI ensures we are doing better in our job than we used to before AI was with us. You know,
Wonderful, Mr. Ashutosh. AI can do better, and it is a supporting hand now in this era.
absolutely. Yeah.
Uh, can we have Mr. Jaganraj, your views, please?
Yes, Mr.
So, can AI opportunities solve air pollution crisis, or fix wrong design, or the bad airflow, or poor maintenance?
Definitely, as I said in my presentation, if the system design is wrong, the fundamental is wrong. Definitely, the A cannot push to its limits. So the A has a certain limit. If the system is designed properly, then A can do wonders. The
That
engineering, then if we want A to perform good, then engineering redesign might be required.
definitely, very rightly said, engineering has to be required. That is necessary for that. Mr. Neeraj, what are your views on this?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with Mr. Jag. You could see AI as a tool which can pinpoint to the problem. So, if, for example, we see indoor air quality monitors as you put them all across the floor space, for example, they could act as a, say, ECG. You've got 16 LED ECG, which you can put the LEDs at the different part of your body, and it tells you the diagnosis of what the problem is. In the same way, you could put monitors in different parts of the floor space, and it could tell you what's the fundamental issue with the ventilation setup. It may be a design problem, or it may be an O&M problem. If the filters are not maintained, for example, and it messes up with the pressure, positive pressure, negative pressure situation, then AI can help identify where exactly is the problem originating through this multivariate analysis. And then it can help you solve it, whether it's a redesign or it's a predictive maintenance or retrospective maintenance. It can certainly help you to fix that problem.
Definitely. This AI can definitely identify and detect the problems prior to the cases, as you mentioned. Mr. Jaganraj Ratna,
Yes.
But, well, while in your presentation you were talking about the tiredness in the AC room and invisible IAQ, we are unaware. And because of that, the productivity gets decreased. Microbial growth is also there. You talked about the calibrated sensors and the technologies. And AI to health contribution you spoke about. And it does not replace engineering. So where do you see the clear limits of AI in managing IAQ, especially when issues stem from the poor designs or bad airflow, all skilling persons need?
Uh, the AI can definitely add a value. Like for example, the AI cannot the system capacity cannot be increased by AI, but definitely it can
Correct.
add value. Like Mr. Neeraj said, it can predict the maintenance. Like example, if any maintenance to be done for the system, like filters to be replaced or any sensor to be redefined, calibration to be done. Some predictive maintenance can be done with the help of AI. The sensor have a lot of data, like the temperature, RH, CO2, PM 2.5, VOCs. The lot of data can be collected through sensors. The AI can add value, like it can combine the data and it can do pattern analysis. Like I said in the presentation, the pattern can be analyzed and the pattern can be monitored. It can be recorded for years long, and so that the predictive control can be done. The actionable results also will be the outcome of this pattern recognition.
Very right, Mr. Jagannars, uh, to hear your views. Coming to Mr. Ashutosh. Hello, Mr. Ashutosh.
So,
So, you were mentioning that accumulation, because of accumulation of invisible uh, VOCs and other things, destruction is very gradual, and AI does not clean air. And you also talked about the detection, elimination, and filtrations. And infrastructure building needs focus. While AIQ system is an issue and invisible risk to visible opportunity, very rightly said that. So many IAQs risk are invisible, right? So how can AI detect and prioritize hidden risk before they impact health or the comfort?
definitely, see, at some point we have to realize the when you enter a property in an indoor space and you start smelling something, something is off. It's the air is stale. It's in usually too late. It has seeped in, and the volume of that factor, which is making the air stale, that a human can detect. That means it's too late. It has done its
Correct.
damage. Users inside that building have already inhaled it and they have taken it home with them and have transferred it to their spouses, their children, their elders inside their homes and other offices. So damage has been done. And what
Correct.
we need to ensure is that you need to be informed. When we are driving, for example, driving on a highway with windows of our car shut, and the recirculation air is inside the car is also shut, and you are going along the highway 3 hours, 4 hours of driving, everyone is sleepy. Do you think they are tired and they are sleepy? No. The oxygen level has dropped down. The oxygen is not so much. So everyone is sleepy, including the driver. He's not inhaling sufficient oxygen as well. Guess what could change that? What could let us live longer than we do these days? A sensor, something along the lines that tells you the beats as harshly as possible. And I'm sure you would have gone through the Harvard research that says you can improve the performance of knowledge workers in your office only by maintaining oxygen level, proper oxygen level, and their efficiency improves by up to 30 to 38%, which is huge. You are working as a consultancy, you are working as a large corporate, you have accountants, you have finance guys, and their performance drops down after lunch. is primarily because you have inhaled all the oxygen inside the property, you have exhaled the carbon dioxide, and compare and bring it. Another factor into focus is that if your air circulation is not passing recirculating the air through a HEPA filter. If it's not crossing a HEPA filter, we call it ACH. It's the industry term is air changes per hour. So if it's not
Right.
happening 5 to 6 times per an hour, that make 100% of the cases, you and the person, your co-worker sitting beside you will be inhaling the same air. You will be just exchanging the air, breathing in, breathing out, the same air between both of you. That's not ideal. That means whatever the other person has inside of them, you are going to get it, and you are going to spread it around. So, and that's where the filtration system comes in, and HVAC is of course not designed, not made for that, and that's where the retrofit design systems comes into picture. Is because it doesn't ask you to change anything. Just it's like a refrigerator inside your AHU room. Just place one, forget about it, and then that ensures that every air you breathe has been passed at least 5 to 6 times through a HEPA. And we all know if it passes through HEPA, even if you're carrying all kind of viruses, including TM zero point 0.1, it's not going to escape the filters, and that means, and I have written a statement by one of the CEOs of a London-based company in their office in Gurgaon that our sick days have reduced by 70%, since they started using air purifiers, which means that people were going home more frequently, which means evidently whatever I just mentioned was happening in their office. And that's where if you have sensors, if you have data, and you have someone who can analyze, detect, and design a solution based on that data, it ensures and I'm sure you'd have seen the Deloitte report that has just come up. India can have $220 billion worth of productivity if it can maintain good air quality inside their indoor air premises. So we have data, we have information. What we are lacking to some extent is action. So I hope that will start following up soon.
Yeah, that's a very nice and vivid presentations. And you have mentioned about the reports, and that is very alarming uh, in the present day. Mr. Neeraj, coming back to you. Uh, you started with the IAQ is multi-dimensional construct, and you picked up some case situations also. So, with the experience you have spent, how to evaluate risk reduction and long-term benefits for organization and occupants?
Yeah, it's a very important point. Whenever we go to a customer, the harsh reality is that the decision makers are the ones who are spending money, right? So their first question is, what's my ROI? What am I getting out of this upgrade, this installation? And there are two ways of looking at it. One is that there is analysis of data which we can show that which tells us what's the energy savings, what's the improvement in air quality, sick days, like Ashutosh mentioned. The other way is, and which is with the help of AI, circling back to the topic that we're discussing here. There's, for example, an indoor air quality monitoring company in the UK that we're working with. They have created a dashboard uh, which is a layer on top of the usual readings, so the PM 2.51, VOC, CO2, etc. But the layer on top is the one which talks about relatable factors, so like the risk of the sickness risk, the performance index of the occupants, of the people who are in there, the sick building syndrome risk, the risk of these, and there are factors which are behind this, right? So when we say sick building syndrome, it's linked to mold development, which is linked to the filtration level and humidity level in the occupied space. And when we talk about performance risk, it's linked to CO2 level and it's linked to PM 2.5 level in the building. But it's just human tendency that we relate to this live feed information in a much more definitive way compared to an analysis of what will happen in the future when we implement the solution. So they've had a very good success with this dashboard. For example, people relate to the insights which are understood by them, and it's all based on established peer-reviewed research. There's enough research out there which establishes for the incremental, for the incremental change in the different parameters of indoor air quality, what is the impact on health, on well-being? And as Ashutosh mentioned, for example, if the CO2 level goes too high, there will be fatigue, there will be a tendency for people to be sleepy, be incoherent. So there is established research on what the certain levels of these metrics translates into in terms of the drop in performance, the increase in risk. And I think this is where AI helps to give this proactive information to the building owners or to the decision makers of any facility. And it helps them as well to establish the use case of a certain improvement in their filtration system, and not just rely on what, for example, we as a product provider are telling them. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Neeraj. So I have a question for Mr. Jaganraj. Okay, so building generate a vast amount of environmental and operational data. So where does the AI add the value in converting IAQ data into actionable insights?
Yeah, it's like I said, the AI collects the data. For example, you can say it can with the help of motion sensors, the air distribution can be controlled. Maybe with the help of ambient weather data, the humidity rise or that can be predicted, and the system can be configured accordingly. And based on the occupancy rate, when the CO2 level goes high, the ventilation rate can be increased. These are the few things can be done with the help of data. And this finally it gives the final result will be definitely the improved comfort and the better energy efficiency.